Hello everyone, this is Akash Chauhan, and in today's lecture we will focus on exception handling. So as you can see, our focus will be on exception handling. It means we are trying to handle something which is exception, right? So these are the four major important parts which we'll be covering. In the first part, we will be discussing about the fundamentals, the basics of exception and how to handle exception, what is an exception, and what is the need to handle exception. Okay, how to throw an exception, how to catch if we or our program is throwing an exception, then how to catch it, how to rethrow that exception. Okay, so let's first discuss about the fundamentals of exception handling. Okay, so you need to focus on only this part, not all the things I've covered. Okay, I'll discuss one by one. So let's focus, why do we need exception handling first of all? Okay, so as you can see, we are trying to handle, okay, we are trying to handle what? Exception, right? So what is an exception? The very first thing, it should come in our mind, that what is an exception, and the motive of this lecture would be how to handle that exception. But first let's understand what is an exception. So an exception is a problem. Okay, it means it is not a very good thing. An exception is a problem that arises during the execution of a program. Execution of a program means you have delivered your code, okay? You have created your project, okay? And let's say you have delivered your project to the client, and during the execution of that program, some unwanted situation will occur. So all those situations are considered as, the exceptions. Okay, so exceptions are the problems that arises during the execution of your program or your code. Okay, example, for example, you have written a program, okay, and there is a issue that you are trying to divide something by zero. Okay, so it is a standard exception. This is called divide by zero exception will occur in your program. So if you are trying to divide anything by zero, then your program will terminate at that point and will show you this message over the screen: divide by zero exception has occurred. Okay, so your program will fail during the execution. Okay, so over the exception, let's say, uh, if you can restrict the programmer or whoever is going to enter this value, if you can restrict that person that you are not supposed to, or you cannot enter zero, okay, then definitely this exception will never occur in your program. So if you want to, it means if there are some situations, then I need to handle those situations, right? So if I can restrict, so there are two ways. Okay. First way is to restrict. Okay. And second way is to handle. So if I want to put some restriction in my code, then what I can do, you cannot enter zero for the second value, by which you are going to divide the first value, right? So it, in that sense, what you are trying to say, you are restricted, you are restricting the system not to take zero as the second argument. Okay, but in case of handling, what you are trying to say, it is okay, it is okay if you enter zero, okay, as a second parameter, I'll handle it. Okay, so what it will happen, it will say, okay, you are passing zero, so I will, so the program will throw an exception, I catch that exception. Okay, you will write your program in such a way that there would be some handling in your code, that that exception will be catched at some point, and user will know, okay, you are not supposed to enter the zero. Okay, or you can try to roll back, let's say, you are using a ATM, okay, and some of the ATMs ask your PIN code at the end. Okay, so you write the money, and they have asked for your phone number. Let's say I'm taking a hypothetical example, and they would be asking, for your 4 digit pin at the end. Okay, so let's say they are ready with your transaction, but at the end you forgot your 4 digit number. Okay, then they have to roll back, right? If you have entered the wrong password or the 4 digit the four digit password, then the system is responsible to roll back everything they have they have done in your account. Okay, so in that case, what you are trying to say, if such an exception is there, then my system will should be able to handle that exception. This is called exception handling. That is why we need exception handling. In exception handling, we are not talking about the restriction. Okay, even after so many restrictions, sometime our project or the product is going to fail. Okay, in that case, the exception handling is very much important. You might know more about it when you would be working in IT industry. Okay, so these are the three keywords we, which we will be using a lot during the exception handling. The first one is try, catch, and throw. Okay, try is uh, try is a sensitive area. Let's say try is sensitive area or block in which you write your code. Okay, that is prone to exception. Okay, or the exception can occur in that code. Okay, by following try block, there is a catch block. Okay, catch block means, uh, sorry, the catch block would be if there is exception, then how you want to handle this, you will write over here. Okay, and throw keyword is being used over here. Generally, it means if there is a such situation, then throw. The catch will catch this exception. Okay, this particular exception. Okay, it is not always mandatory that you have to throw. Okay, you can the general calculation, let's say divide by 0, will automatically throw an exception. Okay, so these are the three main important keywords, okay, which we will be using a lot. Like I have mentioned over here, try. The catch will follow the try block. Okay, try, we use the protected code in which we think the exception can occur. Okay, the catch. Okay, the try block can have many catch blocks. Okay, because in that code so many types of exception can occur. For one type of exception, you have to write one catch block. Let's say for arithmetic exception, you have to write one type of a catch block. For a numeric exception, you have to write a different catch block, which is allowed. Okay, so multiple catch blocks are allowed, followed will be following the try block. Okay, so the protected code in which you think an exception may occur, like this. Okay, you can list down multiple. This is what we have just discussed. Okay, okay, so this is theoretically we have discussed. Let's discuss an example of this. Okay, so we have x and y. X is 50 and y is 0. Double is also 0. Okay, z is also 0. So if y is 0, it means we are figuring out at the very early stage that the second parameter is 0, and we are saying it is written inside the try block. It means it is very sensitive. Okay, sensitive for what? It can throw an exception. Okay, so if y is 0, it means the second parameter, or the parameter which you are going to divide by, like x divided by y, okay, is 0. Okay, in that case, the exception will be thrown. So it will throw the runtime exception, and you can edit this message in any way. I have written like this: this is a math error and attempted to divide by 0. You are trying to attempt to divide by 0. Okay, so let's say the catch block will catch this exception. Okay, so when this is true, this will be thrown. Okay, so if this will be thrown, then the catch will catch this exception, whatever is being thrown by try block, okay, the catch block will catch that exception, and this is the runtime exception. Definitely it will print that message over the screen, and it is e what means what type of exception is being thrown. Okay, so the message over here, this what is what you have written inside this runtime error message. Okay, so the it would be runtime error. If I run this, let me execute it. Okay, so it is saying exception occurred, math error, or the message we have mentioned over here. This is being printed over the console. Okay, so as you can see, this exception we have used throw. Okay, and it is throwing in runtime exception because we want to use the runtime exception of this std exception header file. Okay, so I have used the predefined runtime exception over here. Okay, so so it is saying, okay, you can define your own exception as well. You don't need to, always use the predefined exception in the header file. You can throw even simple, what to say, you can throw like this, anything, any message as well. It is not a big deal, but you have to catch that exception over here, like this, char star. You have to create a character pointer, right? That's then only this catch will be able to catch this type of exception. So you have to catch a particular type of exception which you want to catch in the catch block. Okay, so it is something like we are telling to the user that you are not supposed to enter 0 for y. Okay, so your system is robust enough to inform the customer that okay, what you are supposed to enter and what you are not supposed to enter. Even if you have delivered this to the customer, that is fine, because the customer would know, okay, oh okay, I have entered the wrong password, or I have entered, okay, 0 for the second value. It means I will attempt reattempt the transaction, and it will go successful if I follow the steps. So these are the basics about the exceptions. Okay, uh, second part is how to throw an exception. So I have used throw keyword over here. So this is how you can throw your own exception. Okay, this is quite easy. Exception can be thrown anywhere within the code block using the throw statement. Okay, so I have used the throw statement. Catching an exception, it is very simple. You use catch block after try block. Okay, and catch block following the try block catches any exception that may occur. Okay, you have to specify which exception you want to catch in catch block. Definitely, if you don't write it over here, then you will not be able to catch it. Okay, so your system will fail. Okay, so your handling is quite meaningless. Okay, rethrowing an exception, for that I have to take another example, but it is more like if you have a nested try statements or catch statements. So if the innermost the try statement finds the exception, then how it will behave or how it will impact the outer uh, catch block. Okay, or in a simple terms, how your at the end, how your system will be able to handle your exception if there are nested exceptions in your program. Nested exceptions means you have many try or catch block inside the try and catch blocks. Okay, so let me open that example. Okay, so this is the example. I have taken the same parameters. Instead of x by divide by y, I have used another function. Okay, and I'm using the same method. Uh, if there is an exception in that block, it will if exception is kind of a message or character string type, then this catch block can catch that exception. It means if we throw some kind of a string, okay, then this catch block can catch that exception and will print that message, because this is CEER, means this is also a standard library function. Okay, and it is being used for error messages. Okay, error stream, it will use the error stream. If it would be IO stream or cout, it means it will use O stream. Okay, so the message will be printed over the error stream, the only difference in that. And uh, and this function, here we have used try and catch, and this function, this method division also will be using try and catch. Okay, so we have passed, let's say, 50 and 0 in that. So here A would be 50 and B would be 0. So we want to write this if in a try block, because we know it can throw an exception. If we don't write it, then how we can catch it? Okay, so if there is an exception in that, then the following catch blocks can catch those exceptions. So I have thrown this, as I said, this you can create your own custom exceptions. So I have used throw keyword, and I have used simple the message over here. Okay, and to catch that, I have used again a constant character string. Okay, and definitely it will come to this point because B is 0. It will throw this exception. Okay, and in message, this message will be stored, right? And it is saying, okay, simply throw to the outer catch block. Okay, if both the conditions are successful, then only it will divide it. Let's say if this is 50 and this is 2, okay, then it will not come to this, and there is no point to come the program counter to execute the catch block. It will directly return A by B means 25. But in that case, the program counter will reach to this 15 line at the throw keyword. Okay, so if this is also throwing, it means wherever this function is being called, the exception is being thrown. Okay, so the exception, this line in that area, in that block, the exception has occurred. It means that message, this particular message, okay, will come to this. Okay, and this will be printed over your screen. So let me execute it. Okay, so this is the output. It is saying division by 0 condition has occurred. Okay, and this message is being forwarded from here to the outermost catch block. So at the end of your code, the outermost catch block, if that outermost catch block is meant to be executed, it means the whatever message you are supposed to show, or you want to forward that message to the front end, that outermost catch block will be responsible for that. Okay, so okay, so this is about how to rethrow an exception. Let me come to the theory part. This is the same example I have just discussed. Okay, so when you throw an exception within the exception handler, okay, or the catch block, okay, that is what it is saying. It is saying you have again thrown, okay, an exception inside the catch block. There must be another catch block to handle that exception. It means if you are throwing, then the outer catch block should also be there. Okay, this is called the rethrowing exception. Okay, so guys, this is all about the exception handling. If you have any doubt, please comment down below. Okay, and thank you so much for today's lecture.